7 years ago, my life was at the bottom. I had spent my entire adult life trying to create a perfect life because I thought it was possible. I worked hard, but I found myself at a place where it was crumbling around me. I didn't know if my marriage of 30 years would even survive. And I couldn't figure out how this was happening because I had tried so hard. If you know anything about trauma, you know that as an adult, we can really try to control our situation and we think we can do it. Well, I decided to go get some counseling, mostly to figure out how to deal with other people in my life. But it turned out to be one of the best decisions I ever made, and it was life changing. About 6 months after that, I was introduced to Better Way Designs and invited to my first party. Now, I had no intentions of getting involved because I knew it was direct sales, and sales made me super uncomfortable. And I saw no reason to be uncomfortable. And so I went because my friend asked me, and I'm a good friend. So I went to the party and heard about trafficking. And unfortunately, trafficking wasn't really on my radar at that point. And I thought it only happened in other countries. And so I really didn't think about it that much, out of sight, out of mind. As I sat in that party and heard about it being one of the top crimes in the world and how Better Way Designs was actually making a difference, I thought it was a really cool thing. And I thought, you know, I can buy these products. I have that ability. The thing is, they also shared how you could buy or you could have a party and share it with your friends, and that would make the reach even further, or you could become a freedom fighter. And I was pretty sure it was going to be buying. And I felt really good about deciding that. I felt like I was making a difference. And that's what mattered, right? And I didn't have to be uncomfortable. Well, I got up to leave and I told my host, I won't be doing this, but I will put an order in. And again, felt really good about that. Well, the door closed behind me and suddenly it was like God was saying, "You mean you won't be uncomfortable for these women?" I just had to think about what if I had not had the opportunity to get some therapy. And I thought, what if I didn't have the opportunity to recover in a safe environment? And what if through all the struggles I had had in working through some of this stuff in the past several months, what if I would have also needed to make a living for my family? And the only way I knew to do that was to sell my body. And in that moment, before I even got to my car, I knew that I had to do this. The interesting thing is up until this time, I very rarely made a decision without asking everybody around me what they thought about it. And I would take everything into consideration. Well, this time I knew, and I knew before God I needed to do it. And so I didn't ask anybody, not even my husband that time. And I decided to do it. Now, I'm not saying you should necessarily do this every time, but I knew that I had too often in my life been discouraged in doing something that I knew I needed to do because I had asked other people. And so I just jumped in. And it took a lot of courage because it did make me uncomfortable. The thing that surprised me as I look back is how much Better Way Designs has been a beautiful thing. It's helped me to grow in so many ways. And yes, I have been uncomfortable many times, but the rewards have been amazing. In 2018, I had the privilege to go to India with Better Way Designs. As one of the artisans was sharing, initially she was really reserved. She did not know that we were from Better Way Designs. But as soon as somebody said they're from Better Way Designs, she got very emotional. And she said, "You have changed my life." And I knew in that moment, and I knew many other times too, but it just reiterated that I was in the right place, that I was doing the right thing. I was making a difference. And then the beautiful thing is, not only am I making a difference for women around the world, but I'm making a difference for women right here, women around me, women that join my team, that I get to mentor, that I get to come alongside, not just in their business, but sometimes in their personal lives too. And I get to coach them and be there for them. And we get to walk together on this journey of life. And it's been beautiful. And then, all the other freedom fighters too. We just get to be in this community that is just so upbuilding and encouraging. It has been a safe place to grow and to learn and to be mentored and to mentor others. It's a beautiful thing. And I would love to invite you on this journey with me. Get in touch with me and let's talk.